Hello mathematicians. Today on 5th grade math with Ms. Howard, we're looking at how to convert metric units of measurement. Let's start by looking at the metric measurement units. When you are measuring length, you measure with meters. When you measure mass, you measure using the unit of grams. When you measure volume, you measure using the unit of liter. And I have the abbreviations right beside them too. So when we're looking at metric measurement units, we have our meters, grams, and liters. Those are our unit. Now there's also prefixes that we add to these words. So we have kilometer, hectometer, decameter, just meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. And same things with grams. We have kilograms, hectograms, decagrams, grams, decigrams, centigrams, milligrams. And it's the same thing with liter. Now, a kilo is 1,000 times your unit. A hecto, whether it's meter, gram, or liter, is 100 times your unit. A deca is 10 times your unit, so whether it's meter, gram, or liter. Deci is 1/10 of your unit. Centi is 1/100th of your unit, and milli is 1/1000th of your unit. I'm going to explain more in the lesson. Here I just listed out the measures of length, mass, and volume. So under length, like I said, you have kilometer, hectometer, decameter, meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Under mass, you have kilogram, hectogram, decagram, gram, decigram, centigram, milligram. For measure of volume, you have kiloliter, hectoliter, decaliter, liter, deciliter, centiliter, and liter. So if you look at all these, we have meter, 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 and we have those prefixes we just talked about. Gram, 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 and so forth. And we have those prefixes. Liter, 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 and those prefixes. So this would be a good time to pause the video and to write down each of these units of measurement and the abbreviations. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. Okay, let's continue. Now here I have our units, our prefixes, lined up from the largest unit to the smallest unit of prefix, the prefix unit. So kilo is a lot larger than the prefix unit of milli. And the way to memorize this, there's a little kind of a little trick that I use to help me remember this, and it's King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So King, let me get my other. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So that's a little trick that I use to help me remember what order I put my prefixes in. Kilo, hecto, deca, unit, deci, centi, milli. This is going to be very important when we start doing our metric conversions. So let's dive right into metric conversions. When we are doing conversions, especially metric conversions, the metric system is a base 10 number system, just like the number system that we use here in the United States when we talk about each place value is 10 times the other. So when we're looking at metric conversions, it's all about the decimal point and place value. Remember, every whole number has an invisible decimal point at the end. For example, 849 is the same thing as 849 decimal point 0, and I can keep on adding zeros and it's still the same number. I want us to switch gears for a minute and just think for a moment. Let's say I'm trying to switch over from if I have 12 feet and then I want to figure out how many inches that is. So we're going from a larger unit of feet, and this is looking back at customary units, going back from feet to inches. Feet are much larger than inches, so what you do with feet to inches, you would go from a large unit to a small unit. That means you would multiply. Okay, so going from a large unit, large to small, you multiply. So now it's the same going the other way. Going from small to large, you would divide. So those are two things that are very important that we have to remember. And it's the same is true when you're talking about metric conversions. So let's start out with let's just see any unit. Let's start out with 849. So if I want to take this unit and I want to see how many, let's talk about meters, okay? Let's say meters for now. If I have 849 meters, I want to see how many decameters I have. Decameters is larger than meters. So if we're going from smaller to larger, I'm going to divide. And each of these place values are 10. So we're going from meters to decameters. So I'm just going to take my decimal point that's at the end, and I'm going to move it one place value over. So 84 9/10 decameters equals 849 meters. Now, what if I said, how many hectometers equals 849 meters? I'm going to do the same thing, except for now I'm jumping 2 place values. And so I will have 8 and 49 hundredths. So 849 meters equals 8 and 49 hundredths of a hectometer. Now let's say I want to figure out how many meters, if I have 849 meters, how many kilometers that would be. So let me erase. Okay, 849. To go from here, we're going 1 place, 2 place, 3 places. So I'm going to move my decimal 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. 849 thousandths. Okay? Now let's go the other way. Let's go from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter. And remember, our original number is 849. It's our original number, 849. Okay? Now I'm going from a larger unit to a smaller unit, so I need to multiply. So multiply, each place value is 10. So from meters to decimeters would be 8,490. Moving that decimal point 1 place over. See what we did? 1 place over. So now we have 8,490. Centimeters would be multiplying this by 100. So we would have 84,900, and so on and so forth. So let's look at the metric units of length, and that's looking at meters. So here are just some reference kind of estimates that give you an idea of the size of these different lengths. So a millimeter is about as thick as a stack of 6 sheets of paper. That's pretty small. A centimeter is about the width of your pinky finger. So hold up your pinky finger, the width of your pinky finger. A meter is about the height of a kitchen chair. And a kilometer is about the distance of 11 football fields lined up in a row. Now let's just jump right into metric conversions. So we have 5 centimeters equals how many millimeters? So let's go ahead and look at our steps. Step 1 says put your finger on the unit that you're starting from. So where are we starting at? We are starting right here. We're starting right here. That's our starting spot. Now jump left or right to the unit you want to convert to. So we want to convert to millimeters. Okay, let's look and see where's millimeters. Oh, this is where we want to be. We want to get to millimeters. Are you going to a bigger unit or a smaller unit? So ask yourselves from centimeters to millimeters. It also might help you to say larger units and smaller units. Okay? Now, we are going from a larger unit of centimeters to a smaller unit. Okay? So if we are going to a larger unit to a smaller unit, that means that we are going to multiply. So what we're going to do is we're seeing how many places we're going to jump. So if we start here and we need to jump over, we are moving over one place value. And which way are we moving? We're moving to the left or the right? We're moving to the right. So it's the same thing. If I multiply 5 times 10 equals 50. That's the same thing as taking my number 5 with a decimal behind it and moving that decimal over one place. So 5 centimeters equals 50 millimeters. Let's look at another one. We have 5,000 centimeters and we want to see how many meters there are. Our first step is to put your finger on the unit that you're starting from. So I'm starting from centimeters. So I am actually going to do a little box around it. There's my centimeters, that's where I'm starting. And I'm going to the unit of meters. Remember, that's our unit because there's no prefix on there. So this is where we want to end up. We want to end up at our unit. We need to decide, are we going larger to smaller or smaller to larger? So let's see. This is where we started right here. We are going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. So when we are going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, that means that we are going to divide. So let's see how many places we have to divide over. 10, 100. So 5,000 divided by 100 cancels out, equals 50 meters. And the other way to look at it is with your decimal. If you have 5,000, we know our decimal's at the end. When we divide, our decimal goes to the left, and we're moving over 2 place values. 1, 2. So this is gone, this is gone. So your answer is 50. 50 meters equals 5,000 centimeters. Now let's move on to the metric units of a mass. And the unit that is used to measure mass in the metric units is grams. So let's look at some of these units and compare them to some things that we see pretty much every day. So a milligram is about the mass of 1 grain of salt. A gram is about the mass of 1 large paperclip. And a kilogram is about the mass of a hardcover dictionary. Now let's look at some conversions. Blank grams equals 5 kilograms. Step number 1, put your finger on the unit that you are starting with. We are starting with, kilograms. So I'm going to come over here. This is where we're starting. Starting with kilograms. I need to go to grams. Oh, grams are not on here. Oh yes, it's a unit. So I'm going to grams. It's right here, our unit. We're going to grams. We need to figure out if we are jumping left or right. So are we going from small to large or large to small? Remember, kilograms are larger and milligrams are smaller. So we're going from large to small. So let's see how many place values we're jumping. 1, 2, 3. So 10, 100, 1,000. So going from large to small, we are going to take 5 times 1,000, and that equals 5,000. Think about it. If grams are smaller than kilograms, isn't your number of grams going to be larger? So now let's look at moving the decimal. If I have 5 kilograms and I have my decimal at the end, all my whole numbers have decimals at the end, and I need to jump my decimal 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. Put our zeros in there. You end up with an answer of 5,000. Let's look at this one. How many decagrams equals 3,000 grams? Put your finger on the unit you're starting from. We're starting with what we have. We don't know how many decagrams, but we do know how many grams. So grams are our unit. We're going to go ahead and put a box on it. That's where we're starting. And we're traveling to decagrams. That's where we want to go. So we are going from here to here. So are we going from larger to smaller or smaller to larger? We're going from units to we're going from units, which is our grams, to decagrams. So we are going from small to large. So we are dividing by one jump, so that's dividing by 10. So 3,000 divided by 10, this cancels out, equals 300 decagrams. Now another way to look at this is you're saying, okay, I have 3,000. I have my decimal at the very end, because that's the whole number and the decimal's at the end, and I'm going to divide by 10, and that equals 300. Now let's take a look at liters. Liters are the metric units of capacity. Now I have some examples kind of to give you an idea of the amount of each of these different measures of liters. So a milliliter is about 20 drops of water. This is a very small amount. A liter is about a bottle of water, not like a 2-liter you get at the grocery store, but just like a regular bottle of water you might buy at a gas station. A fire engine truck can carry about 2 kiloliters of water. Whoa, that's a lot of water. Now let's look at an example. So when we're talking about metric conversions, we follow the same steps because it's a base 10 number system. So 2 liters equals how many milliliters? Step 1, put your finger on the unit you're starting from. We are starting from liters. So liters is my unit. We're starting from liters. Decide if you're going left or right to the unit you want to convert to. We want to convert to milliliters. So we're going to the right. We are converting to milliliters, okay? So from liters to milliliters, we are going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. So that means that we are going to multiply, going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. Let's see how many jumps we're going to do. 1, 2, 3. So we are multiplying 2 times 10, 100, 1,000. Because this is 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 is 1,000. So 2 times 1,000 equals 2,000. Now I'm going to show you how to hop with place value. So you start out with 2. 2 is a whole number. It has a decimal at the end. How many jumps are we going to make? 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 0. Mark that out. 2 liters equals 2,000 milliliters. Let's try another one. You should be starting to get the hang of it. If not, remember you can watch this video as many times as you need to. How many liters equals 4,000 milliliters? Step 1. Put your finger on the unit that you're starting from. We are starting from milliliters because that's what we know. We know that we have milliliters. That's where we're starting. You're going to jump left or right to the unit you want to convert to. We want to convert to liters. So we're going to liters. That is our unit. Remember, our unit can either be liters, meters, or grams. Those are our 3 units when we're talking about metric conversions. So we want to end up at liters. We're starting at milliliters, ending up at liters. So are we going from a smaller unit to a larger unit, or a larger unit to a smaller unit? Remember, kilograms are the large ones. Millimeters are small. So we are going from small to large. When you go from small to large, that means we need to divide. Let's see how many jumps we have. 1, 2, 3. 3 jumps. So we have 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 is 1,000. So we need 4,000 divided by 1,000, and that will give us our answers. The zeros cancel out. 1 for 1. 4 divided by 1 equals 4. Now let me show you with the place value way. So if I have 4,000 milliliters, and I am taking my decimal point at the end, and I'm moving it over 1 place value, 2 place value, 3 place value. 1 place value, 2 place value, 3 place value. Your new answer is 4. So 4 liters equals 4,000 milliliters. Now don't get frustrated if you still feel like you're kind of confused. This is a tricky skill. I encourage you just to keep on practicing, to go back and rewatch this video if you need to. Great job!